The House stars Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler as two parents who, after losing their college fund, realize that they don't have enough money to send their daughter to a dream school of Bucknell. So they team up with their friend Jason Mantzoukas, I'm sorry if I pronounced that name incorrectly, to start an illegal underground casino so they can raise enough money. And at this time, Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler start to branch out and become more wacky, goofy, and really unrealistic characters. And honestly, that's probably the best way I can describe The House. Wacky, goofy, and very unrealistic. Now, I really like Amy Poehler, loved her on SNL, Baby Mama, Sisters, Parks and Recreation. She is a very funny comedian. And Will Ferrell is one of my favorite comedians of all time. I loved Will Ferrell ever since I was a young kid. I've seen almost every single comedy movie that he has done. From the good to the bad, I've seen it all, and almost every single time I have laughed so hard at what he does. Even the smallest line that he can say makes me laugh, and so I was really excited to see The House. And from my perspective of loving these comedian actors, I can say that The House is a decently funny movie. But is The House a great movie? No. Is it even a good movie? No. I feel like The House can be a fun movie if you like these actors. As I said, I'm a huge fan of Will Ferrell, so I feel like that I have a different perspective as a lot of different people watching this movie who may not like Will Ferrell. If you don't like Will Ferrell, there is a better chance that you may not like The House. There are just some one-liners that had me dying on the floor that Will or Amy Poehler have said. Will Ferrell is very bad at math, and there are some really funny instances where he is trying to figure out some math problems and he just can't do it. I don't know why, but I just think it is extremely funny. And Will Ferrell has done a lot of comedy movies. He has done some great movies like The Other Guys and some not great movies like Semi-Pro or Land of the Lost, which I feel like maybe his worst. On the scale of Will Ferrell comedy movies, The House is definitely on the low end. But does that mean this is not a funny Will Ferrell movie? Kind of. I'm not saying that The House is an unfunny movie. There are definitely some funny moments in this movie. But I feel like you really have to love the comedians, especially Will Ferrell. And I say especially Will Ferrell because I feel like this goes into some of the more negatives of this movie. Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler are a couple in the movie. They have a lot of scenes together. And Will Ferrell does have a lot of his time to shine. He has some great scenes where he does great gags. Amy Poehler, I felt like, is there. Then he kind of forgets she's there. And then she pops back in again. Amy Poehler doesn't really have a show-stopping scene. She doesn't really show her true comedic value, which she has shown before. And for fans of Amy Poehler, that may come off as disappointing, but that's not saying that she doesn't have any great moments in the movie. She does have a lot of funny lines and some moments in the movie, but she does feel like she's kind of thrown in there at random parts. And Jason Mantzoukas, he has annoyed me in previous roles in the past, so I was kind of surprised that in this role, he did not bother me. Granted, I never found him that funny to begin with, and in The House, he still hasn't sold me. I don't feel like Jason Mantzoukas have any funny moments that made me like him in this movie. And if you can't tell, I'm describing everyone in this movie by the actors' names, because all the comedians in this movie, they don't have characters. You like these people in the movie because of the actors. There's not really that much depth to these characters. They just want to make you laugh. And I feel like that is The House's biggest goal. It doesn't need to be a deep movie, it just wants to make you laugh, and I feel The House generally does make you laugh. For the first 30 minutes of this movie, before they begin the casino, I feel like was the strongest part of the movie. And then when they form the casino, I feel like the comedy starts to linger a little bit. There are multiple scenes in The House that don't really have as many funny moments as it does before, and it kind of seems to drag on, but not too much. It is still a very short movie, but I feel like the ending is just completely misguided and random. There is a moment near the end of the movie with a great celebrity cameo, which you think is going to be the ending of the movie. It's not the ending of the movie, and I feel like it's just there to barely move the plot along, and it doesn't really have that big relevance in the moment of the movie. And then when you think that's the ending, there is another ending that is completely out of nowhere, and it was very random, and at the same time, you don't really care that it's so random and out of the blue because you still enjoy the characters and just watching them say funny lines, and at this moment, you still get some funny lines and moments from Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler. But yeah, The House, there's not that much to really explain about The House. It is just a comedy movie trying to make you laugh. Is this one of the strongest comedies from Will Ferrell or Amy Poehler? Absolutely not. But if you're in the movie theater for a little bit less than 90 minutes and you just want to laugh and you are a fan of Amy Poehler and especially Will Ferrell, I feel like The House is right for you. It is definitely not a movie for everyone. Comedy is very subjective. The House may drag at some points with a completely abrupt and random ending, but I feel like The House does achieve its goal on just creating some basic lowbrow comedy. Coming from a fan of Will Ferrell, I did like The House. It could have been so much worse, so I'm glad when I saw it. It's definitely not for everyone, so I can say that The House is a fine movie. So that's The House. Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? Whatever you think, you can put in the comments below and maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Thank you as always for watching, and if you haven't, you can click my last video right over here, and you can click my upcoming video right over here. That's a click. Thank you as always for watching. Hope to see you next time.